Alright, so I am here today to talk about by far the most important trade, not just in NBA history, but if anything, in sports history. I mean, to me, this completely shifts the title odds. I now think one team is drastically better than the other. From one team's point of view, I don't understand why they did it, and from the other team's point of view, I'm rejoicing for them. This is an epic day. Now look, you're probably thinking I'm talking about the De'Aaron Fox trade. No, of course not. I'm not talking about Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones, Zach LaVine, or Sidney Sissoko, or any of the seconds and firsts that went along with it. No. Good trade, important trade, but, it's not nearly as impactful as this trade. Now, you're probably thinking I'm talking about the Oklahoma and Charlotte trade. No, it wasn't a trade for LaMelo, wasn't a trade for Shea or anything like that. Wasn't a trade for Gordon Hayward again. It was for basically second-round pick swaps. So, very impactful, but not nearly as impactful as what many would be looking for. And no, I'm not talking about Drew Eubanks, Patty Mills for PJ Tucker, Mo Bamba, and a second either. No. The trade I'm talking about is the Caleb Martin and Quentim Grimes trade. Obviously, this is a humongous swing for both teams. Quentim Grimes, still incredibly young, incredibly raw. No, I'm just playing. But, yeah, I already did a video on the Luka trade. It's still insane. If it came out that every sports writer was hacked, Luka turned into a hologram for a little bit. Rob Pelinka just found Luka's twin. I'd be less surprised than I am now about that trade. But no, I do like the Caleb Martin and Quentim Grimes trade. At least I like it for Philly. Philly doesn't have a ton of power forward depth, although Gershon Yabusele has kind of come into his own. So I understand moving Martin. I don't understand why Dallas moved Grimes or gave up a second for it. I'm of the opinion Caleb Martin isn't that good. Not a great defender, not a great rebounder, not a great shooter, which, if we're looking at the Mavs GM's philosophy of defense wins championships, I think Quentim Grimes is a better defender than Caleb Martin. At least guard defender. Caleb Martin might be a little bit more of a versatile defender, but I think from a pure defensive standpoint, I'd rather have Quentim Grimes. Quentim Grimes is also much younger. I believe Caleb Martin's 31 now? Could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong, but he's older. While Quentim Grimes is only in year 3 or 4, he's still relatively young. I think the concerns about his health have been relatively cleared up. His knee seems to be fine. He's been playing a lot of minutes recently, and he's played well. I don't know what else to say other than that. He's been a good, impactful 3-and-D player. I think he's a good connector for that team. So, yeah, I like that for the Sixers. I think this definitely puts kind of more on Gershon Yabusele's shoulders, which I think is good. I like Gershon a lot. I like him more than Caleb Martin, honestly. I don't think this means anything super substantial for either team. I don't think Paul George gets traded. I don't even think he can. I think he can. They won't, but I don't think Tyrese gets traded. Joel won't get traded. I think honestly the most likely player to be traded is probably Lowry or Drummond off that Sixers team. I don't think there's any one player that we should be paying attention to on the Sixers team that could be moved. But so I like this for the Sixers. I still worry about their center depth a little bit, but it's center depth. Their wing depth a little bit, but I do think Grimes can play the 2-3. It's the 3-4 position that I'm a little worried about, but ultimately I think they'll be fine. For Dallas, I don't understand why, again, that they would do something like this. I didn't understand the Luka trade. I hated it at the time, still do. And now, obviously this has much lower impact despite the beginning of my video. But I don't understand why Dallas would do this, especially giving up a Philly second too for this year, which honestly could be pretty impactful. Like a pretty decent pick. I mean, Philly's been looking rough, I'm not going to lie. Joel Embiid's health is always a question. Same with Paul George, honestly. Tyrese Maxey, though good, also has had some health scares the past couple months. Needs help, like has shown he can't win on his own, which no fault to him. He's a great player, but like most players can't just win on their own. But has shown that he needs another start with him to consistently win. And I don't know if Paul George and Joel Embiid are ever there consistently to help them win. So I don't get it. I think it's a downgrade from the Mavericks, although it seems to be a common trend recently. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I know nobody's going to watch this, but if you do, like and subscribe and all that other jazz. Press buttons, but in the words of Click Productions, I can't control you, so peace.